Do you want to work less, have more money, and more time to do things that you love? If yes, then keep watching. Hey guys, my name is Sonali and you're watching Sonali Reads episode 8. If you are here for the first time ever, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Sonali and this is Sonali Reads, a playlist on my channel where I keep up with this year's resolution, one of the resolutions this year that I have, to read one book a week and to keep myself accountable and to share the knowledge that I'm gaining from the books. I make book review videos to educate you guys as well. So this week's book is Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Work Week. If you have been in the book reading genre for a long time or even for a little bit of a time, and even if you are like a new reader or a person who has never read a book, sorry, can you, so a person who has never read a book, I'm sure you sometime have come across the name of this book, The 4-Hour Work Week. It's a very popular book, and it's a book and it's a very practical book. Ever since I started this book reading journey, I have been very eagerly waiting to encounter this book, and I'm happy to say that we are finally here. So the 4-Hour Work Week says, escape the 9 to 5, live anywhere and join the new rich. That is exactly what the book teaches you. Escape the 9 to 5. Escape your mundane, boring 9 to 5 job. Live anywhere in the world, travel anywhere in the world without hampering your work, and live remotely, work remotely. Third, join the new rich. So one of the things that the book kind of educates you is that people don't want to be millionaires because of the money, but people want to earn millions because they want to live like the millionaires. They want to live a life that the rich people live, which is they get to do all the things that they think money alone buys, and they get to experience life in its actual form. So the main objective of the book is to create freedom of time and place and to use that however we want. So how do we accomplish that? We accomplish that by having the perfect job. What's a perfect job? A perfect job is where you spend the least amount of time to garner the most amount of money. The book teaches you the concept of the new rich. Who are the people who we are referring to as the new rich? And how do we get to join the new rich and become one of them? So the new rich are people who fulfill the following criteria. Number 1, they have others work for them. Number 2, they do minimum things for maximum effect. Number 3, they take mini retirements throughout their life. Number 4, they do all things and become all the things that they want. Number 5, they are neither the boss or the employee, but they are the owners. Number 6, they focus more on quality, less on clutter. Number 7, they ensure every day is payday. And finally, number 8, they ensure that they have the freedom to follow their dreams. So how do we join these new rich people? Well, we join these new rich people by using our time effectively and efficiently. This book is not a get-rich-quick scheme or something about not doing anything and just earning the money and living a lavish lifestyle. No, none of that. This book is about using your time productively and your efforts efficiently. So before we dive into the rules of success for joining the new rich, I'm going to tell you the formula for failure. Yes, let's get that out of our way. The formula for failure, what is it? The formula for failure is trying to please everybody. Yes, if you are someone who needs to please everybody to get their job done, this video, you need to end this video right now. Get off of, go. This video is not for you. When you actually put the ideas and the concepts of this book into action, you will find that a lot of people who are scared to take that leap of faith will try to pull you back into their group and not let you join the new rich. And if you fall prey to their words and their fears and all of that and try to please them, then forget it. You're obviously going to run into failure. Now let's talk about rules for success. It starts with productivity. What do you know the difference between productivity and busyness? Sitting at work for 8 to 9 hours does not make you productive. It does make you busy, but it does not ensure that the work that you're getting done in those 9 hours is actually getting some results or is actually garnering the kind of profit that you want to garner. So being productive means to have a limited amount of time and to put your entire energy in that limited amount of time to garner the maximum amount of results. On the contrary, doing less does not mean laziness. It means that you're spending your time doing the things that are more meaningful and productive. Most people do not become successful because they are more scared of uncertainty than they are of unhappiness. So uncertainty means that they are scared of taking risks because they are scared of failure. So there's a very beautiful quote of this book, and I have a sticky note of that on my, on this wall right here, which says that fortune favors the bold. So if you have the courage and if you develop the courage and you push yourself to take that bold step, I assure you, and the book and the stories of the book and the millions of testimonials that Tim Ferriss has, and some of that has been listed in the book, says that once you take that risk, once you take that leap of faith, the scary part, the thing that you were most scared about gets diluted. It vanishes. And if you're still scared about taking that risk, taking that leap of faith, ask yourself, what is the worst that could be? What is the worst case scenario? And prepare yourself accordingly. So there are two types of income. One is absolute income and one is relative income. What is absolute income? Absolute income is money, the money that you earn. Relative income is something which is time plus money. It represents the time that you have spent to earn that money and not money alone. Now let's get back to happiness for 1 second. Do you know what the opposite of happiness is? If you do, I want you to pause this video and go down in the comment section below and tell me what you think is the opposite of happiness is. No, I'm serious. I want you to pause this video, go right there, go right down in the comment section and write the opposite of happiness is dash and come back up and watch the answer. So hey, I'm assuming you paused the video, went down in the comments and wrote the answer. If you didn't, I'm gonna be really heartbroken. So do it. Anyway, so the opposite, if you wrote that the opposite of happiness is unhappiness, please don't write that, but the opposite of happiness is sadness, then you're mistaken. Yes, don't go down there, delete the comment. Please don't do it. Then you're mistaken. Happiness and sadness are like two sides of the same coin. So what is the opposite of happiness? The opposite of happiness is boredom. And the synonym for happiness is excitement, passion. Which means that if you are stuck in a 9-to-5 job, doing something that you hate, and mainly covering up your 9 hours, doing repetitive, unproductive, and stupid work, then you're bored and you're unhappy. That is the reason for your unhappiness. Not lack of money, it's boredom, my friend. So how do you get rid of this boredom? Let's talk. So I learned something very interesting through this book, a terminology. This term is called a dreamline. So we've all heard of a timeline. What's a dreamline? A dreamline is a timeline plus dreamline. Duh. Anyway, so a dreamline is actually jotting down all the goals and the dreams that you have and having specific timelines to achieve those goals. So what I need you to do as a part of an activity through this book is that you have to make a 6-month or a 12-month dreamline. For practice purposes, you can make like a 3-month dreamline. Now in that dreamline, there has to be 3 categories: having, being, and doing. What is having? Having means all the material things that you want to have. What's being? Being means all the things that you want to become. What's doing? Yes, doing means all the activities that you want to do, including traveling to places. So under each category, you need to write 2 to 3 things: being, having, and doing, and convert those 2 to 3 things into actionable plans. For these things, you need to find out 2 specific things. Number 1, cost for each activity. Number 2, total monthly income which you require in order to fulfill these things, which means obviously eliminating the expenses. Remember, the main focus of the book is to use your time wisely. So please do not spend enormous amounts of time wasting it after research. Instead, find someone who has done what you want to do and ask them for help. In order for you to achieve your dreamline goals, you need to have two things, time and money. Let's break up time. So to use your time more effectively, you need to do two things, eliminate and automate. Let's talk about each of these separately. First, eliminate. In order to eliminate, you need to follow something which is called Pareto's law of distribution or the 80-20 principle. Everything can be broken down into the 80-20 principle. 80% of the global wealth is handled by 20% of the people of the world. 80% of your profits come from 20% of your clients. So using this principle, you need to find out two things. Which are the 20% activities which is wasting 80% of your time, and which are those 20% activities which is giving you 80% of the profit and 80% of the income. For example, you will understand that 80% of your income actually comes from 20% of your client. So figure out who those clients are. Second thing, you need to have a to-do list and a not to-do list. Now we all know what a to-do list is. Let's talk a little bit more about a to-do list. 2 high priority activities daily, not more than 2. You need to dedicate a specific amount of time for those 2 activities. And by a specific amount of time, I mean you need to have a deadline. According to this 80-20 formula, if you have like a 6-hour window to fulfill one work, that work will spread itself to fulfill that 6 hours. Whereas if you give yourself 2 hours to do that particular work, you will ensure that you do that work within that 2 hours. If you think the book is saying something wrong, then remind yourself of the time where you studied overnight for an examination or completed a project work overnight. We have all done it and you can do that again. Set reminders, do not multitask, and eliminate distractions. Also figure out that who are those 20% of the people, friends, family, social people that give you 80% of the happiness. On the contrary, who are those 20% people who give you 80% of the headache? Eliminate these guys, keep these guys. Next, you need to have a low information diet. What do I mean by that? I mean that don't stuff your mind with extra information. Do not check your email early up in the morning. According to this book, one of your high priority tasks need to be completed before 11 a.m. That can only be done when you wake up early, of course. And second, when you do not check your email or indulge in the daily news on a daily basis. If there's something trending or something which needs your attention, you will ultimately get that news. Do not waste your time on stupid work. If, for example, you're watching a movie and you don't enjoy the movie or you don't like the movie, or if you're reading a book or a magazine which you're not really enjoying or finding any value in it, stop reading it, stop watching it, go out of the movie center. Just because you have given your money doesn't mean you also need to waste more money by giving your time. Time is expensive. Don't waste that. Let's talk about a couple of major time wasters. Number 1, discussions and meetings. Do not go for discussions and meetings where there are no agendas. Set an agenda beforehand, an objective for the meeting, and set a strict timeline for the meeting, maximum half an hour. Number 2, phone calls. When you are working, you need not get calls all the time, okay? So have 2 numbers and give your family and your high profile clients your second personal number where they can call in case of emergencies, and the other number you can give to other people who can keep on calling and you can just answer them later. Number 3, web surfing and email. Oh my god, please have a specific amount of time for emails and chattings and all of that things. Limit your time and limit your options. Now the second factor to use your time more effectively is automation. How can you automate things? For emails, for example, you can use autoresponders or auto forwarding. For calls, you can have voicemail. For work, you can have a secretary or a virtual assistant. A virtual assistant is someone who you don't have to actually have that physical person around you all the time. You can actually hire a person on the internet. There are a lot of service providers who will provide you with virtual assistants, and they are like your secretaries or your assistants, but they are not on a physical basis. They're on a virtual platform. So they will handle your emails, they'll set up your meetings, they'll schedule your lunches, and they'll do all of these small nitty-gritty stuffs which actually are your time wasters, but are important obviously, so they'll get those things done. So you have to invest in them. They charge on a per hour basis and quite affordable, to be very honest. For calls and meetings, use the batching system. The batching system means that you batch these things up. If you have like 5 to 6 calls which you got during the day, don't call them in the middle of the day between your work. Accumulate all the calls and the numbers and call them at a specific point of time. If you have like 2 to 3 meetings which you need to get done throughout the week, try to set them up on the same day so you can, when you go out, you can get all of these things done and get home. If you are dealing with clients or products or any services, of course, then figure out what are the questions that your customers and your clients ask you most of the time, like the common questions, and have an FAQ section on your website. So whenever they ask you some common questions, you can redirect them and save your time by sending them to the FAQ section. Now let's talk about money. We have already covered time. So now what do we do about like the rest of the time? If you want to do the activities like traveling the world or doing all of the other dreamlining activities, you need to have a sufficient amount of cash. So you can do that by having a side hustle if you're an employee, and you can also do that by scaling up your business through automation. So this book is almost like a 400-page book, and I cannot possibly go inside all of those nitty-gritties because it is a lot, right? So but I'll give you an overview. There are a lot of things through which you can earn cash. First, you need to have a niche. A niche is a specific industry where you provide a service or a product for that specific category of people. If your product is for everybody and anybody, it means it's for nobody. So you need to have a product which is serving a specific kind of people, okay? Next, you need to understand whether you want to become like manufacturers of those products, resellers, if you want to sell info products, if you want to become affiliates, lots of options. Your ideal clients have to be low maintenance and high profit. So eliminate all the people who are like, have no surety of ordering from you or order from you on like not a very regular basis, but are like high on demand. Next, if you want to travel the world and like, work remotely from anywhere, go out on like a mini vacation or somewhere where you can test that you are able to put in the work without hampering your productivity. Now, there are lots of examples in this book where the book is showing you step by step how as an employee you can get your work from home or remote working conditions approved by your boss. Along with that, the book is filled with a lot of websites, tools, references, testimonials and guides to like almost everything that this whole book concept is about. So if you have successfully understood these time-saving techniques and these productivity hacks, and if you have implemented them somehow successfully, then I would really want you to buy this book, have a look at this book, and if you have that want of living life on your own terms, which is something that I've wanted to do forever. I never knew that there was a book like that. I never knew someone also like wished something which I have. Like I always want to do not work all throughout my life, not work all throughout the day, but I want to put in work where I know that I am a person who can do work speedily and who can do work well without distractions, of course. So now this book is kind of like my Bible. So if you're someone like that, I would really acknowledge and kind of like push you to buy this book and to follow this book. Okay, this review has been so long. Oh my god. And literally my head is like paining because these guys have been honking. You will not know because I have edited out like so much of this video, but like my head literally. Anyway, I had so much time, I had so much fun reading this book. It was like reading my life journal or an instruction for my life, okay? And I had triple the fun shooting this video for you guys. So if you have enjoyed this with me, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button because I'm going to put out videos of book reviews every week, and you will be able to learn something from these books and from me every single week. Along with that, I have videos I post videos on Tuesdays and sometimes Tuesdays or Wednesdays on like tips like time management, productivity, confidence building, public speaking, communication, and so on and so forth, mainly on personal and professional development, personal self-growth, answering the questions that you have. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, and I will see you next week.